All right, so let's go ahead and create a box that's going to be the same size as this box. So let's draw a rectangle, 6 by 6, enter, and then extrude it up 6 inches. Now we could have done that the other way where we made a box using the box command, but this is fine. And then what I want to do is I want to move it so where it's surrounding the whole thing. I've got this midpoint is still an accurate midpoint. So if I move this, move, enter, from this point, midpoint, grab it to that midpoint. It's straight. I'm making two sides. So I'm going to move this using the gumball. If I click on this, this pops up and now I can say -3, enter. So that moves it halfway in. And then if we're lucky, Boolean difference will work here. So let's go Boolean difference. Click on this to keep, enter. Click on this to remove, enter. Okay. Now we've got the negative space. So those are going to be the forms we're going to end up cutting out of foam core. But we've got this back end that's 3 inches too deep. So what we want to do is we want to cut it off. And I'm just going to cut it using a plane here. So if I draw a line from that midpoint to this midpoint, click on that line, curve, right there, extrude curve, go all the way through. Now I've got a cutting blade. I plan on moving this up. And then I'm going to actually use my scale function to make it wider. I'm just making it bigger than the area of the object there. So spitting that out a little bit. And now might be a little bit more complicated. So we're going to split, type split, enter, click on the object, split. I'm going to do that again, split. If you hit enter, it brings up the same command, by the way. I don't know if I told you that. So split, enter, click on this, enter, click on the cutting blade, enter. Okay. Then that cuts off the back. I can delete that. But you'll notice if I delete this, we've got some funky openings that we don't want. So what we need to do is Command Z, bring that back. Split this with this. So split this, enter, with this, this, and this. Make sure we got all of them. Enter. So I should be able to remove this part of the surface, leaving behind just the shapes I need. And click there, delete. The goal is to have this object closed off on the back with just the negative space. So we didn't need that section in the middle there. So this is what we're going to build our mold out of. And now we'll have to make the other side. And the way we're going to do this, I probably should have told you this, but make sure you don't stop here because you'll lose the other half of your object. So let's go ahead and go File, Save As, and save this as something else. Save it as, I'll just put it on my desktop. Mold instead of block. So. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to grab this, and we want to make sure we grab all of those faces, and we're going to join them, and we're going to Command X to copy them. I'm going to just get rid of all of my lines. I don't need those anymore. Well, they're going to come back, sorry. Command Z. I'm going to keep going back in space until I get my whole object back. Okay. Now I want to move this over this way, -6. So I've got the other side. Okay. Then I'm going to move these two away from the center. Delete all my lines I don't need. And then I'm going to Command V or Control V. You know, so you're copying and pasting. PC might be different. So you can see that's the negative space of this section. Now we're making the other one. So let's Boolean difference again. Boolean difference. Want to keep this, enter, and get rid of this, enter. And we've got the other negative space. So now we're just going to repeat that same step again. Draw the line from this point to this point. Click on the curve, extrude curve, enter. Goes through, click on the surface, move it up, scale it out with the gumball. Gumball's turned on up here, otherwise you can't see that. And then we're going to split each side. Split this, enter, with this, enter. And this time I'm going to do this, enter, with this, enter. And then I'm going to click on this back half and get rid of it. And then I'm going to click on this, get rid of it. Make sure you're picking the right stuff here. Okay. And then I'm going to cap this. Just cap, enter. Because I didn't select this when I was doing the other split, so I missed something. But now I've got that shape and that shape. And these are the two shapes I need, so I'm going to go ahead and just join these together. So these are our shapes that we're going to export and use to build our mold.